Number one, vampire. There are stories of vampire like creatures from as early as ancient Greece. This centuries old monster is said to be undead. They survive by draining the living of their blood by biting their victims with sharp teeth. Aside from these teeth and unusually pale skin, vampires resemble humans in every other aspect. Sunlight will burn a vampire's skin, so they are active mostly at night. There are times that they can be active during the day as long as the weather is permitting. According to lore, their downfall are crosses, silver, and garlic, and can be extinguished by stabbing them in the heart with a wooden stake. To be safe, though, it would work best to decapitate them.
Number two, zombie. Stories of zombies date back to the 17th century Haiti. Zombies are said to be the result of voodoo. A voodoo practitioner would utilize a mixture of herbs, bones, shells, and other animal parts as part of their practice. This mixture could cause symptoms such as confusion, difficulty walking, trouble with breathing, and sometimes even coma, which is the basis for the belief that a zombie is raised from the dead. These patients were deemed deceased and buried alive and would crawl back out of the dirt. The belief of these undead, reanimated corpse monsters were believed for feeding on human flesh. They would move at a creepy, robotic pace, but were surprisingly strong. The best defense against a zombie? Damage their brain.
Mummy. Mummification originated in ancient Egypt. It was a special preservation method used in burial rituals. References to the mummy as an undead monster gained popularity around the 20th century after King Tut's tomb was found. This sparked many classic horror films. Much like zombies, mummies are reanimated corpses. Their main objective is not to eat flesh, however, but to get revenge. Often mummies were buried with all kinds of riches that lured treasure hunters. Those hunters may have riches in those ancient tombs, but they ended up with much more than they bargained for. A mummy's greatest weakness is fire. If a fire can't be produced easily, decapitation is an option for protection.
Number four, werewolf. Werewolves are cursed humans that involuntarily turn into large, strong, wolf like monsters during each full moon. Some legends say that they look like human wolf hybrid, while others say they are all wolf. While they're in this state, they have a hunger for human flesh. The curse is a result of being bitten by a werewolf while it's in its monstrous form. While werewolves are exceptionally strong beasts, their weakness is silver. They can still be harmed in many of the same ways that humans can, say, get hit by a car or something like that, but silver will harm them much more efficiently.
Number five, goblin. The goblin dates back to the Middle Ages and is a creature that is usually small and often described as very gross. Thought to be the counterpart to fairies, goblins have similar magical abilities. Some lore states that they can shapeshift. There are many different types of goblins, mostly popular in Scottish, Irish, and English folklore. Goblin is a term used to describe any sort of evil or mischievous creature. In some legends, goblins are born by spores that are germinated underground. Others suggest they reproduce similarly to humans. Goblins live in small caverns or caves. They are known to attach themselves to a human's home and cause a similar ruckus to the poltergeist.
Number six, the Headless Horseman. The most popular Headless Horseman legend is from 1776 and 1820 America. In 1776, a trooper in the Battle of White Plains was decapitated by a cannonball, and his fellow soldiers carried his body away while leaving his head on the battlefield. In 1820, author Washington Irving wrote The Legend of Sleepy Hollow based on that incident. This is a version of the story that is widely popular today. The legends state that the ghost of the headless horseman rises from his grave in Sleepy Hollow every night in search of his head. If he is unable to find his own head, any head will do. Until he is successful, he uses a menacingly lit jack o' lantern in place of the missing head.
Number seven, troll. Trolls originated in Norse mythology. They are similar to humans but are much stronger and generally much uglier. In Nordic folklore, trolls simply live in isolation in mountains, caves, or rocky areas. They live together as families. In Scandinavian folklore, trolls are much more troublesome. These trolls can either appear to be the same as humans and simply live in isolation, or be extremely old and strong but equally dumb and dim witted. These strong and dumb trolls are man-eaters and will turn to stone in the sunlight.
Number 8, swamp monster. A swamp monster is a creature that lives and haunts a body of water, primarily swamp or marsh-like areas. They resemble humans but have traits of aquatic animals such as webbed hands and feet, gills, and large yellow eyes. The creature can have a body of a human, but the head of either a wolf or a dog, and wanders the swamps of Louisiana looking for misbehaving children to eat. Whoever kills a swamp monster could become infected with a curse if they are exposed to the monster's blood. For this reason, fire would be the best defense against the monster.
And remember, stay young and have fun.